So, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, please kick off the meeting. If you
Okay.
can do it by singing, that will be lovely. But
No, not in that mood actually. So, Toastmasters guest, being the sergeant at arms at Karachi Toastmaster Club, I welcome you all in another exciting meeting of KTC. This is our meeting number 896. And
so it has just been pointed out to me that it is actually 897.
okay,
Uh,
897. So we are
it
just
was
three
my mistake
meetings
only.
away for our 900 meeting. So we are in a great journey. And the theme of the day is future. So, and I am quite excited for it that I think there is something very interesting. So, without further delay, would like to hand over the charge to the captain of the ship, the president of Karachi Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster Musa Kabar. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ali Asher. Welcome everyone to another meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club. I am sure everyone is doing great. And as Toastmaster Ali Asher said, we are 3 meetings short of the 900th meeting. And surely in the future, we will get there. So without wasting time, let's go do with the business segment. Toastmaster Tala, do we have anything? Okay, let's just wait for a bit.
So yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rusa. So last week's meeting, I think none of us can forget it, whether we attended it or not. So it was our second hybrid meeting, and it was quite a bit more successful in terms of everything than our first hybrid meeting. So that was a good sign. We had around 30 people who attended either offline or online, and we saw some old friends also return to the club. Uh, so it was a full roster. Best speaker was won by Toastmaster Mohammad Farooq. Best table topics by DTM Maria. Uh, Critics' Choice Best Speaker also by Toastmaster Mohammad Farooq. Critics' Choice Best Facilitator Toastmaster Umar Hayat. Best Evaluator again Toastmaster Umar Hayat. And Best Big Four by DTM Samir Hamid Dhodi, because this was also meant to celebrate our members' successes during the year. So um, after that, we have in principle decided that we'll try to go for a hybrid meeting in every other meeting. So as obviously governed by the circumstances and the developments. So that is all there is to report from the business section. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha. Now we have a guest, Toastmaster Sarosh. Okay, he just popped out. So when he comes back, we'll take his introduction. So without, okay, he's back. Toastmaster Sarosh, would you like to give a brief introduction?
Thank you, Toastmaster Musa. I just listened to the word Toastmaster first. Can you give us a brief introduction? Nothing before that because I was on another call. So I will just give a brief introduction of myself. I'm a chartered accountant by profession and engaged with Toastmasters for about 10 years. I am the VP Education of Ocean Hub Toastmasters, which is another Toastmaster club of Hubco Group. The first one is Hub Toastmasters Club. So this is a bit about me, and I am honored to be in this meeting of Toastmasters Club for the first time, probably. So looking forward to have a good session today. Thank you.
Welcome to the club, and you should drop in more often. So with that, Toastmaster as a long time, the Toastmasters of the day you haven't taken. So today, just amaze us with that wonderful performance. Over to you. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam President. It has been long to see you, and you know, it's a bit painful to be again on virtual world. I was there last week with DTM Tala, and we really enjoyed our last session. Um, I hope to return back to beach luxury in near future. DTM Tala, am I right? Um,
Yes, that's the idea.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It has almost been now 1 year of Zoom gathering, and we are gradually phasing out. Those who do not travel are currently being spared from weekly commute to the beach luxury. It may be little inconvenience due to unexpected disruption of technology, but it's not a threat to their grooming as leader and communicator. That sounds like good news, but it isn't. You're missing, many subtle cues of leadership and communication. In other words, try to be on beach luxury rather than on virtual world. It is my, personal interest as well. Let's come to the meeting, and I would like to welcome all of you, all participants in the meeting, including our guest Sarosh Salim. Um, I'm T.M. Askar, and today I'm the Toastmaster of the evening. My role is to preside over all session of the meeting, and we have three sessions in the meeting. First is, of course, the prepared speeches, and then the table topic session, and final session or segment is evaluation. But before starting our first session, I would like to request the role holder to come forward and introduce themselves and their role. The list is in front of me on my mobile. Um, First of all, I would like to request Grammarian DTM Tala bin Ahmed to please introduce your role as the ritual of the meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asghar. As a grammarian, my role would be to spot grammatical errors and suggest corrections at the end of the meeting. I will also try to spot good usage of grammar, creative usage of English, and try to highlight that as well at the end of the meeting. Over to you.
Thank you. Our second role holder is timer Shamal Shahriar. I can see him. Can you introduce your role to the club?
It's pronounced Shamil Shariar.
Shamil Shahriar. I'm again sorry. I
It's
remember
okay.
pronouncing it.
Grammarian has noted this.
It's all right. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today my role as a timer would be to make sure that speakers remain within their time limit. Therefore, I would be timing the prepared speakers and the table topic speakers. So at the minimum time, I will show the green card, uh, the green card, then on the halfway in between the minimum and maximum time, I'll show the yellow card. Then at the maximum time, I'll be showing the red card so the speaker would know that they have only 30 seconds left. Over to you, TM Muhammad Asghar.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next role is R counter, and today's our R counter is our smartest Toastmaster, Latif Mansoor Ali. And over to you, Latif, to introduce your role, please.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Mohammed Asghar. Today, as an R counter, my role will be to make notes of the speaker using frequently or unwantedly ums, that but, these kind of filler words, and they take more than usual time of pauses. So I will give my report when called upon. Whatever we do today depends what is our future. So let's drop those crutch learned words and let go this and ums and make our speeches more presentable for future. Thank you very much, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. But TM Latif, I challenge you that you can't catch mine because they are so subtle in my case. Our next role holder is our vote counter. I remember Stalin saying last week, um, uh, The technical host is today our vote counter. That will be Ali Ashar Anjum, if I'm not wrong. Ali, are you there?
Yes, yes, I
Okay,
am here.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead with
Yes,
the introduction of your role.
yes. Being the vote counter, I am mm, going to to count the votes of prepared speakers, table topic speakers, as big four, and the uh, the evaluator. At the the end of the meeting, I am am going to announce the result. So over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you. But please remember that I'm competing among the big four. Uh, mm, the word master, again, DTM Thala, you are the word master today as well.
Yes, thank you so much. As word master, my job will be to assign word of the day and to count how many times the word is used. You're all encouraged to use the word of the day, and it's also the job of the table topics master, especially to remind the table topic speaker to use the word of the day. Um, so, word of the day is in line with the theme of the meeting, which is future. So, word of the day is doomsday, and because doomsday also lies in the future, right? So, doomsday means the end of times, the end of the world. It in a metaphorical sense, it also means very depressing, very negative. So, for example, if we say that somebody is painting a doomsday scenario, that means that they're just being negative for negativity's sake. So, congratulations, word of the day is doomsday. And
Oh,
best of luck with positivity about the future with that word of the day.
okay. Thank you. Uh, the last roller is the joke master. And today I'm playing the role. So here is the joke, but promise all of you will laugh. Okay. One lazy Sunday morning, as wife and I were sitting around the breakfast table, I said, when I die, I want you to sell all my stuff immediately. She innocently asked, now they, why, would you want me to do something like that? Well, I figure you would eventually remarry, and I don't want some other jerk using my stuff. She looked at me intently and said, what makes you think I would marry another jerk? So, again, over to me. Now, the prepared speech session. Let me see the speaker and the evaluator. The speaker is the first speaker is not available. So should I go to the no? He is there. He is there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The first speaker is TM Faya Akhtar, if I'm correctly pronouncing her name, and the
Actually, it's Faya Akhtar. Faya Akhtar.
Faya Faya
Yeah,
Akhtar.
Faya.
Okay. The evaluator of TM Faya Akhtar is Toastmaster TM Urusa. Uh, can I request you to please read the objective of this speech and invite the speaker for the speech? Over to you, Urusa.
Thank you so much, TM Asghar. Toastmaster Kaya will be giving her last speech. Reflect on your path. From her pathways, well, let me see what the pathways is. Her speech is the purpose of her speech is for her to reflect on the growth during the completion of an entire path and to share some aspect of her growth during the completion. The speech length is 10 to 12 minutes. Please, everyone, welcome Toastmaster Faya. She has joined our club recently, and she has wowed all of us. So over to you, Toastmaster Faya.
Okay, thank you. This is the life. I was thinking, there must be the place. I need a break in my life. That's quite enough and boring. all the time have some kind of the books, checking, burden of the job. What to do now? I was thinking that I should get a break. But you are not able to take any break in the life because your students cannot leave you and your profession cannot leave you too. But I was thinking I wanted to feel peace. I wanted to feel nature. I wanted to see the humanity which I have read in my books, which I have seen in TV, which I have seen in drama and movies and films. But I was not getting that. But 2019, there was something. Thank you so much, Corona. I must say, because that Corona has given us the reason. The Corona has given us that one break, which we wanted to entire our life. We wanted to have a gathering. We wanted to have spend time with our family members, but we didn't have. But Corona has given us a reason to spend time with ourselves. Corona has given us the reason to meet yourself because we had a time, and a time. I must say, everyone in entire their life, they have just faced and seen this kind of the situation. Do the work for the doomsday. I was thinking that still there is humanity or not, but I have seen that yes, still humanity exists here. So my journey was going on, but there was one problem. The problem was that I wanted to complete my pathway. Oh my God, now how will I go to Toastmaster? Because from the job I wanted to get off, but not from my education. Now what to do now? But again, thank you so much to the Toastmaster. And I must say that every problem has a solutions, but it depends on us that what we want to do. Because when we let our mind to do something that I start thinking about on that one thing, we got the virtual meetings. And by the virtual meetings, I got the lots of the opportunities for learning because I love learning. I love to explore new things. I love to meet the new people because I love to observe them. I had a philosophy, my own thoughts, according to my own way, that there must be the one glass of the water. You are a water? No, you are not a water. This is the world basically. You can get a two choice in the life. Being a human, the one is a oil and another one is a salt. There are the two kind of the people. Suppose that if you become a salt, of course, then you can melt easily in the world. But if you are oil, that means is that you cannot be melted easily in the world. So in my entire life, just I wanted to become a salt of the other people. I know you must be thinking and laughing as well, because it is said, adding insult into injured. Please don't add insult into my injured. But the thing is that, again, it depends on the person that how you are taking the positivity. So I taken out another one example from my life. So I just wanted in working on that one path. And my dynamic leadership pathway, especially because the dynamic meaning is the movement. We learn a lot by the lots of the things. So I was having these kind of the things, but the problem was that my thoughts was wrong. Because you cannot be salt of the other's life. Remember it. By this one path, I got lots of the lesson in my life. I'm professionally a teacher, but inner myself, there is one hidden motivational speaker. As you have observed, all of you, that I love to motivate the other people. But the thing is that the person who is a motivational speaker, actually that person is the failure. That person has faced lots of the failure pathways. That's why that person has become the motivational person. That the hurdle in the life which she or he has faced, with throughout these all things, they can exemplify for the other people. But for the motivational speaker, of course, motivational speaker needs also a motivation. How and where I can get my motivation? I wanted to become the salt of the other people. I just wanted to try to adjust and just melt in others' life. But the people which you are having, majority of them, they are not actually a water. They are oil already themselves. Nothing can resolve there. You cannot change the world because you have to change your world. You have to change yourself. You have to change your habits. In the mind, there are the thousand thoughts we have in the mind. In every morning, when we just get up, so there are the lots of the hopes, dreams, ambitions. But when we just sleep, do you really think so? Do you have a same situation? No, not all the time. We always have lots of the disappointments, regrets in our lives that from the whole day. But no worry about that. From the next morning, when you will get up again, that means is that you will having again new thoughts, new hopes, new dreams, new ambitions. The same thing I was doing when I completed my path 1. That was quite easy for me. Why? Because I already did that before. Motivational strategies, the same pathway I had, the pathway 1 and pathway 2. But with the passage of the time, when I start meeting by online in entire, so I found and I feel that Faya, you are losing your speaking power because you're not having an environment. Let me tell you the one thing, for joining the Toastmaster, I had to basically close my center. I used to run one center that was my own property at my area, but it needed time, which I didn't have. I had a 2 choice in life. The one that continue your study, the second to give study, to give learning to the other people. So of course, continuously 8 years I used to teach to the other people. I thought that when I teaching to the other people, I must think about myself now, and I should wind up for the time being, because we should learn the one more thing in the life, that's called learn how to say no in the life. This is the secret of the life basically. If you know that how to say the no, even yourself and to the other people, that means is that you can get many things in the life. So I said no to myself, that I should not think about it to be greedy, to become, not the millionaire and the billionaire, but at least somehow the income I must have. So I said no, that I should continue my study. So I just kept walking on my pathway. But the later in the time, throughout all journey, I realized that I have lost that one thing. Because for working on your speaking, you have an environment. I start forgetting lots of the GVs. I start forgetting lots of the words from my mind. Because in the morning, I become the librarian. Of course, there is no any environment, just you and books. Oh my God, I was so happy that time as well. And in the Toastmaster only, in the whole week, we have a 1 day. And I'm not that kind of the person who can claim in these old things. No, I believe on the actions and your experience to explore the new things. So these kind of the things was just going on continuously. But I just kept going on that. There are the lots of the people in the life. They are gonna make you realize that actually you are nothing. Because when you become somehow the famous and you just get somehow the name. So people are gonna discourage. People are gonna break you. People will motivate, demotivate, not motivate, demotivate to you. In my surrounding, I was having just these kind of the things. So I said, why I should be salt? I should be oil now. And I must leave these old things. No matter what the place is, you can change your place, but keep focusing on your path. So I just got my target. I said, okay, that's a promise to you, Faya, that you will complete your both levels till the March. And when there is a hope and there is your intentions, that means is that you can get many things in the life, because when there is a will, there is a way. If you are right, your path is right, that means is that you can get lots of the thing in the life. So I'm very thankful to DTM Talha, because in that one situation, he was just son, he just gave me the light, I must say. He just gave me support that no, you have ability to do that, I will support you. And he started supporting to me, and still he is supporting to me. Really, I listen by the many people that he is the diamond, and I must say yes, he is a diamond. So this is my journey, overall my whole path. So thank you so much, all of you, for listening my path. And I must say that do what you want to get.
Can you mute yourself, Faya? Faya, can you mute yourself? Thank you.
No, it's not Faya, it's someone else.
Okay, it's someone else. Then I'm sorry to Faya. I think it is then none other than you.
Huh?
No, because now I can see you. Okay. Now come to the next speaker. By the way, whenever someone phrases DTM Tala, I feel insecure. I don't know why. But anyhow, I let me run this program, and then I'll talk with DTM Tala in detail. Our next speaker is none other than the smartest one, TM Latif Mansoor Ali. TM Latif Mansoor Ali is doing his project currently from Presentation Mastery, Level 2, which is Introduction to Toastmaster Mentoring. The title of his speech is Love at First Sight, and TM Latif will be evaluated by Ali Ashar Anjum. So I request Ali Ashar Anjum to please read the objective of his speech. Over to you, Ali Ashar Anjum.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asghar, for your briefing. My target speaker is none other than Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali. He is on his pathway of presentation mastery, and today he is doing his project of Toastmaster mentoring. So the purpose statement of his project are: the purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. And the second purpose is for the member to share some aspect of for previous experience as a prodigy. So best of luck, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali. Over to you.
It was my third Toastmaster meeting. And the speaker over there said, our life, our relations are just like T20 cricket game. Love at first sight. Divorce at first fight. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I remember when I heard this, that in my heart I said, I don't believe this. Love at first sight, not my cup of tea. At that time, I was married and had 15 years already with a person. In college days, in school days, nothing like that happened. But on 26th of December 2019, it was that big auditorium where this performer was invited. And from that first step, I was fall in love. That was my love at first sight. Day 2, after the event, I thought I should again revisit and see this performance. I start hunting for the numbers. Lucky to me, I managed that number. Like all celebrities, they have their secretaries to reply. But I received a reply from that performer. The invitation was to come and see again the 1st of January event. Unfortunately, I could not make it. That was a disappointment for me, but some of the celebrations, because I was on leave in Pakistan, so I had a family gathering. After long days pass, that performance was still instilled in my head. And trust me, till today, I'm in so much of love that doomsday of my life, I want to be known as he should be my mentor. Sorry, Toastmaster of the day. DTM Talha, it is you. Trust me, I was so much engrossed with your performance on that day that though I was in CA Toastmasters meeting, but I planned or I eventually thought of it that I'll be member of Karachi Toastmasters Club. I could not attend that 1st January meeting, but that sorrow did not stay long with me, because as Corona had helped many people, it helped me also. We went online. Had that passion of public speaking, I contacted you. And then on, my life journey started. What a change I have found once I joined Karachi Toastmasters Club. I have learned each and everything in detail. The professionalism, the work, the response, each and everything has its own criteria. But I have not seen you demotivating someone or saying that you cannot do it. One more thing which I liked in you is you made a reason for every meeting. It has to be a celebration. That made me into so much that I wait for Wednesdays. I used to have that mantra of a speaker should take 15 days to give his next speech in order to prepare, write, and deliver. I was better than that. Then came the success story. Yes, I failed many a times. I practiced. There was time when you noted my mistakes. There were times when you corrected them. There was time when you said, just add this sentence. And it gives me glory. Till today, no matter what, I qualify, I failed. I love the performance, the support you have gained. I have already given many Toastmasters in our group that though people have said that you are a gem, I have mentioned you as a magician. Because you have that kind of persona that makes everyone just stay with you, connected with you. Allah bless you and other Toastmasters who benefits their life, their future, everything what they have belonged. I myself, in my groups at Bhavans and at Karachi Toastmasters Club, try to encourage each and every speaker to come on the podium, prepare and give their best. They say we have difficult in learning the projects, delivering and writing the speech. I'm saying just learn from DTM Tala. He writes one word and then exaggerate. Try to do that. It will help. The best performance comes when you speak from your heart. And I love this kind of attitude. Fellow Toastmasters, we all are so lucky that not only DTM Tala, TM Imran, even Ghulam Qadir, TM Muhammad Asgar, these all have helped me each and every time stick and perform. DTM Shahrukh Shahnawaz, they all are there. And once I got an opportunity, for sure, I will give my full best to that new Toastmasters when I will be a mentor of any mentee. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Toastmaster, this is not fair.
You're on mute, Toastmasters.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just wanted to thank TM Latif Mansoor Ali, and I also thankful to him for mentioning my name. You know, it's sort of neutralizing the things, but yes, you are very much right. No one can compete. DTM Tala, the magician. Come to the next speech. Our next speaker is, oh my God, our next speaker is none other than TM Urusa Kamal, our very president. Oh yes, it's a strategic relationship one. I'm sorry, it's an icebreaker. And the title of the speech is from the beginning. It's a very apt title. And Madam President, Urusa Kamal will be evaluated none other than Toastmaster Noreen Fatma from Islamabad. Is she with us?
Yes, Toastmasters, I'm here.
Oh yes, please go ahead with the objective of the speech, please.
Sure. Today, Toastmaster Urusa Kaval will be delivering her icebreaker from Strategic Relationships Path, and her time of her speech is 4 to 6 minutes. And the purpose of this project for her is to introduce herself and to introduce herself to the club and learn some basic structure of our public speech. You already know our president club. She's a very seasoned Toastmaster, but today we will learn more about herself. And the title of her speech is From the Beginning. Over to you, Toastmaster Rusa.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nari. It was a very normal day. The regular humdrum, the possibility of a delivery. And then suddenly the doctor informed the patient's relative that the baby's heartbeat is low. Why wouldn't it be low? It was over 9 months now. The baby should have been here, but no. She has decided to think a location and hence the complication. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I have always been an overthinker, or so I'm told. And it seems like since birth, I have kind of liked my comfort zone. So I was born at the 11th hour, as they say. And I feel the way we come into this world has a big impact on the mental processes that we have as adults or the way we live our lives. That is a personal observation after listening to thousands of friends and finding some parallels in their lives. Like myself, being born right when all hell was going to break loose, I translate that into procrastinating long enough to create a perfect mess only to sort it out later. But then That is just my perception of things. I could be wrong. So, I was the first child born to two really accomplished people, accomplished by their standards. So, I was seen as a natural extension of their own success models. I think everyone is familiar with that kind of thing. Peers struggling with that. In my case, that was still to be proven when I was born. As a child, people tell me I couldn't sit still. I remember very little, but the permanent reminders to my mischief happened to be little marks here and there that were reminders of my early experimentation. They are the emblems of my early days, trying to do things that were typically not meant for me. Like once when I decided to switch off all the lights of the house at the age of 3. The challenge proved to be a little too much for me. I took my small toy cycle, highly unstable wheels, to every switch, decided to climb the cycle, reach the switch, and do the required job. Now, after successfully doing it for twice, the confidence boosted to a very high level. I tried for what proved to be the last time. While trying to reach the switch, the wheels gave way and bam! I landed on the floor, slamming my entire face onto the floor. A 3-year-old child. Blood ensued. Emergency was created. My upper lip had snapped into two, requiring immediate stitching. Thankfully, the doctor did a good job. But the photographs weren't nice after that. A few years down the line, my sister and brother joined the party. And from then on, we became a circus. In hindsight, I'm sure we were a handful for my mother. I can tell you that because the soul angel that I have ravaging my house these days makes me rethink the concept of mischief altogether. Now, in those days, my mother, I think, tried everything legit to make us sure we were disciplined. But did we get disciplined? Let me let's see what you think of this. I remember my mom having this huge collection of indoor plants. She really loves plants. And we were not allowed to touch any of them or even go near them. The vines were all over the place, pots of all sizes. She used to spend hours tending to them. Once, while playing near one of her plants, I accidentally broke one of the leaves. All right, it was not a leaf, but I'm not going to tell you what it was. But it wasn't going to bode well for any of us. When asked who did it, I innocently pointed to one of my sisters and who was clueless about it. We both were further questioned, and the rest is a total blur. As the years went by, I became aware of a lot of changes that took place. The world shifted gears. Year 2000 began. Now, that was a celebration in itself. The turn of the century was indeed no less important. Remember how remembering the year in 4 digits was so relevant? How Y2K became a catchphrase? Just resetting the year to 2200 would have had catastrophic effects around the world. Nothing much happened, did it? Yeah. What did happen was that I came to a new city, the city of lights. And what happened next? Maybe for the next icebreaker. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Rusa. You delivered your speech in a very particular style. Thank you for the speech. And moving the next speaker is Ali Ashar Anjum. Ali Ashar Anjum is doing his speech from Engaging Humor Level 2, Introduction to Toastmaster Mentoring. The title of his speech is Pearls of Peculiarity, and the Ali Ashar Anjum will be evaluated by DTM Tala bin Ahmed. I request DTM Tala to please read the objective of his speech.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asghar. Today, Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum will be delivering his. Just give me a few seconds to open the form. I have about 5,000 browser tabs open. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's his level 2, and his pathway is. Yeah. How would I remember? I only made the agenda, right? So, yeah. Engaging Humor, Level 2, Introduction to Post Toastmasters Mentoring. So the project is about for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of a previous experience as a protege. Toastmaster Aliasha Anjum is our Sergeant at Arms, and he is capable of awe and wonder every time he speaks. And I believe everybody who has heard him will second me in that. He always brings something new and stunning to the table, and he is I can safely say that he is one of our best speakers. So today Toastmaster Ali Asher Anjum's title of the speech is The Pearls of Peculiarity. The Pearls of Peculiarity, Toastmasters Ali Asher Anjum.
Okay, there are 7.3 billion people around the globe. They all are unique and peculiar. And there are many people, but there are very little mentors. We have different types of mentors, and basically majority of us found our mentors at the school, our teachers. No matter how funny they are, how strict they are, but they are our mentors. Good evening, Toastmasters. Today, I am going to discuss some of the gems, the mentors of my life. Those were unique and the I must say peculiar, because they made me what I am today. I still remember in Habib Public School, in the all boys school, our teacher used to beat us. How many of you face the same? Yes, 2, 3, yes. And today we all are successful because they made us tough. I still remember our PT master in Habib Public School. Every morning there was an assembly, and we have to drill all the day for it. So what happened? And I think in 2007-8, I was a fat guy, a fat boy actually. So my PT master, we call him Mario for his mustaches. He always we used to stand like this. But then he said, "Shunt." We were just like this. Whenever we were just in the assembly, we were like this. He say, "Hey boy," we were like this. And his sound was terrifying, as lethal as the doomsday. I always remember he used to say in his accent and in Urdu, which means, "Hey fat boy, where are you going? Be in the queue." Believe me, if he will say to me that phrase today, I will sue him for the body shaming, literally. But also, he was my teacher. And believe me that when I entered into the Habib Public School, I was a lazy boy. He made me an athlete, a good boy. He made me stuff and made me what I am today actually. Although we don't remember those people, but they are the perks of our life, but a unique one. My second teacher, you all know that I am uh, was I always want to be a chemist. How it all started, I still remember. It was 8th class. Our chemistry teacher, we used to say him Dr. Sahab. Because he is old and he has a French beard like Amitabh Bachchan. The day I still remember, he was teaching us DNA, and what he just said that my mother used to write with left hand, and my father used to write with the right hand, and I can write with both of my hands. In this how he teach us DNA. We all were like that. Are you serious? But in the end, I always say that I am, well, I love chemistry due to him. And I always want to be the chemist. He used the technique of being funny. That's why I remember him till today. It's almost a decade ago. And we all have those people around us, but we have to figure out that they are mentors. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you for this wonderful speech. In my case, it was not PT Master. It was the Molvi of my madrasa. May God rotten him in the hell. I come to the next speaker. Next speaker is none other than DTM Tala bin Ahmed. DTM Tala today is delivering his speech from Motivational Strategies Level 3. Understanding Emotional Intelligence and Cosmetic. The title of the speech is Cosmetic Bottlenecks. I just wanted to show if DTM Tala is there. I think he is exactly not there. Okay, yes, he is there.
Yes, I'm here. I'm just setting up the camera. So allow me a few seconds.
The evaluator of DTM Tala. Oh my God, I'm going to evaluate DTM Tala. It's really a doomsday. I'm depressing. I mean, it is always depressing to evaluate DTM Tala, the magician. Well, but let me fulfill this responsibility. If someone imposed it on me, I'm unable to. I always, oh my God, that's when it is depressing to say the least. The objective of this speech is to share some aspect of his experience, journaling emotions are being aware of the emotions when interacting with others. The stage is yours, DTM Talha bin Ahmed.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, take a look at your fingertip. Take a really close look. Zoom in. We all are made of molecules. Zoom in. Molecules are made of atoms. Zoom in. Atoms are made of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Zoom in further. Protons and neutrons are made of further subatomic particles, quarks and gluons and antiquarks. And there's a whole soup of subatomic particles, bosons, strange forces, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force. Nothing really exists, and yet everything exists at the same time. It's all so maddening, and my God, I'm about to go mad. So let's zoom out. Zoom out to the here and now. Zoom out little more. Our planet Earth. Zoom out to the solar system. Our sun is one of the 100 billion stars in the galaxy. And the galaxy itself is 100,000 light years across. Zoom out further, though. A galaxy is a member of the little club called local group, and that club consists of 40 galaxies itself. The local group, in turn, is a member of a supercluster of galaxies called the Milky Way. And that supercluster of galaxies is a member of a supercluster of galaxies called the Milky Way. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, now audible and visible.
Am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
So, okay. I will try to continue from where I left off. Local group is a member of a super cluster of galaxies called the Virgo supercluster. But that's not where it ends. Virgo supercluster is a member of a supercluster of superclusters called the Nakia. And at that scale, the universe looks like a set of filaments, thin threads spread across billions of light years. And again, it stops making sense. So please, let's come back to the real world and to my own self. Do you realize what prevents us from understanding the true nature of reality? We'll get to that question later. But first, let us zoom back into the past and let me take you to a place which you have visited many times. But let's open a new door this time and stare inside my primary school where I'm sitting trembling, waiting for my maths teacher. The maths teacher enters the class. She has our test results, and everybody knows what's about to happen. Still, she sits down, she calls every student one by one, and then it's my turn. I slowly walk up to her. She hands me the paper and says, 70%. Wow, that means I've been spared the ruler and instead just will suffer friendly taps of the pencil on my fingers. Good news! And even then, passing through that each and every day, I was applying the techniques of emotional intelligence to tackle the situation. Self awareness. Yes, I was aware that I needed to score 100 marks if I really needed to escape the wrath of my teacher. Self regulation. After months of practice, I took control and at last was managed to reduce the trembling in my fingers and my feet. But my bladder is another story. Empathy. I tried to dig into the mind of the teacher and tried to find a caring soul who only wanted the best for her children. But instead, all I discovered was a bloodthirsty hag who would settle for nothing less than the screams of innocent children. Motivation. My motivation was, of course, tomorrow is another day, another maths class, but perhaps next year she won't be here anymore. he would get transferred to some other school or maybe get married. And then social circle. I tried to empathize with other children, but they were suffering the same predicament, and the consensus was that the suffering was all we could do. Until, of course, time passed, we grew out of that class and into another class and spared the rod, so to speak. Coming back to the question, what stops us from actually grasping the nature of reality? It's right here. This is the cosmic bottleneck. It allows us to perceive, it allows us to see, to listen, to hear, to suffer, to have emotions, and yet it is so limited in its reach. It cannot reach down to the subatomic scale. It cannot reach out to the supercluster galactic scale. We are all bound by this instrument of ours and by our emotions. So what follows is this cosmic bottleneck is what determines our reality. It is the creator of our reality. Outside of it, nothing exists. Inside of it, everything that we perceive exists. And therefore, while we cannot control anything that is happening outside of our brain, we surely can control and regulate and train our brain to handle a situation better. And that's where emotional intelligence comes in. I discovered that the teacher was not the first or the last bully that I would ever face in my life. Everyone's life is filled with bullies. And even today, we face so many bullies, and we have all our own ways of dealing with them. So, how do you deal with a negative situation? First of all, you relax, take a deep breath, fill your lungs with some oxygen, supply that brain of yours with some oxygen so that you can see and feel and hear clearly. Secondly, you distance yourself from the situation. You try to look at it in an objective term. You try to separate your own emotions from the situation and try to analyze it. And then you turn to focus. You focus on the problem, you isolate the problem, and then you focus on how you will get out of it. And usually, the easiest way to get out of a situation like this is to continuously tell yourself positive reinforcements about your intents and about your talents. So those are the techniques that have been taught to us as a part of this project, understanding emotional intelligence. So distance, focus, and then reinforce positivity. That is all it takes. So maybe we are not able to understand the universe. We are just working towards. Maybe we are not able to control the events in our world. Maybe we are not able to control how other people behave. The one thing we can control is how we deal with the situation. And if we learn to self-regulate, if we learn the art of applying emotional intelligence to every situation, we won't create a heaven or a hell, but perhaps we can create a safe space for our own mental wealth and health and well-being. Over to you, Toastmaster.
It's a meaningful silence. Actually, I'm trying to recover. Yeah, here I am. Thank you, TM Talha bin Hamid, for your speech.
Okay, so
But
just give us a few seconds. Meanwhile, you can see comments from our guests from Lahore, Azam Ali, and maybe more. Just a few seconds.
sure. Uh, the guest Azam Ali from Lahore, are you there? Azam Ali, are you there? Can we talk with you because I haven't? Yes.
Yes, TM Asghar.
Oh,
Asghar, sorry,
can you?
I'm here.
Sorry. Sorry, can you introduce yourself and say something about your club? Because I haven't seen this name before during our meeting, and it's really, good to see Toastmasters from other clubs.
Yeah, I am TM Azam Ali. I am the president of Century Paper Toastmaster Club. It is an organization club, and we are going to celebrate our first anniversary in just in couple of days.
Oh, that's great.
And that is actually the very difficult task to be the president of the organization club. But
Yes.
as far as the Karachi club is concerned, I attended the first meeting of the KTC about 1.5 years back. I was really impressed, and that was one of the reason I made a club in my organization. And I had been attending a couple of few meetings of KTC, and these are always impressive. Particularly, you have so many speakers, you have so many awards, and so you are supposed to be the biggest club of our country. So I always enjoy your meeting, and that's why I
Thank you.
join. I am attending this meeting as well. There are
Thank
so
you.
many
Thank
good speakers in the KTC. My favorite, so many speakers, and I also enjoy your role. You always go on the lighter side,
Oh,
take
yes.
the
Thank you.
role on the lighter side. So there are so many interesting things for me in the KTC. Thank
Uh,
you, TM Asghar.
Thank you, Azamadi. Actually, my president, Madam Toastmaster Urusa Kamal, always, forced me even to be on lighter side of the things so that we can be a regular in the meeting. But anyhow, it's really good to see Toastmasters from other club being a part of our club. Please do participate among with us, and we will try to participate in your club meeting as well. Are you doing your meeting physically right now in Lahore, or you are still on virtual like us?
Yeah, we are going to nowadays. We are having the hybrid meetings, and many Toastmasters around the country have attended our meeting. And your club president, she also have attended couple of meetings. And we are having meeting in daytime. Our time of the meeting is 11 a.m., 11:30 a.m.
Yes,
So it's
that's good.
hard for the people who are used to be busy in their job or the business, and that's why
That's great.
always
That's
we always
great. It
admire
means
the guests.
that's great. It means at least in one way you are better than Karachi Toastmaster Club. DTM Tala, are you ready to move forward?
Yeah, I'm just reeling from the continuous attacks being thrown my way, but I'll try to uh, move forward. And yeah, I believe I have Toastmaster Azhar Khan's evaluation sheet has been passed on to Toastmaster Latif. So, Toastmaster Azhar, are you ready for your speech?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
that's great. So I think we can move on. And meanwhile,
Okay.
I'm trying to contact Toastmaster Wajahat. I'll update after that.
Okay, so our next speaker then will be Toastmaster Muhammad Azhar Khan. Muhammad Azhar Khan will do a project consist of research and presenting, and the detail will be shared by the evaluator of the speaker with Latif Mansoor Ali Khan. Latif, can you share the objective of the meeting and the other details? Objective of the speech and the other detail?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Today, my target speaker will be completing his first level. Just 1 second, let me. Researching and presentation. Speech length is from 5 to 7 minutes. Speech title is missing, but the purpose statement will be for the member to learn and review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on the topic. So good luck, TM Azhar, and looking forward for it.
So first and foremost, I want to share my research. Basically, I have been working last around 15 to 16 years in advertising market agencies. I started my career side from design side, and I started career to design side, from design to uh, like head of design. But it means I have crossed I crossed a very long distance from my profession field. I have seen many changes in my field, and I knew, and now I know every ups and downs. For example, if I'm talking about 16 or 17 years back, I started from my career from Pentium 1, Pentium 2. But after a few years, after a few times, I saw the Apple Macintosh core. I don't remember the exact core, but I changed the huge changes. So I started the Mini Mac on G4. After a few days, few times, I saw the Mac Pro and other different machinery. After that, I realized that everyone is going to very fast, and I should move very fast and fast. I started my career in the design side. I learned the Macromedia, Adobe Macromedia, Freehand, and Photoshop. After that, I learned many softwares like Adobe Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop, Cinema 4D. Cinema 4D used for 3D modeling and 3D animation. So I have seen many changes in my whole path, because 15 years back, 16 years back, I was thinking, yeah, I should learn this thing. I should know these things. After that, maybe I will achieve my goal. But I was wrong. After few years, after 6 months, every yearly, I'm seeing the changes on a yearly basis. I want to share one thing. I get PDF from the download from the Gallup. It is showing around the billions of billions spend money on the outdoors. I'm talking about the out of home, billboard, signboard. But nowadays, in Karachi especially, every signboard has been finished. I think 2 and 3 on the Sharif Faisal may be possible on your areas. But in 2011 to 16, there are so many billboards and signboards and show fashion. But now everything is finished. Everything is moved from the physical to digital. Now we are spending money on the Facebook boosting, YouTube ads, Google AdWord, because every time, every minutes we are seeing the changes. I don't know what will happen in the next, but we are ready for the every change. Especially last year, no one know about the COVID, and you have to stay in your home around 3 months, and you have to start work from home. First time I saw this in my whole life, this thing. But after that I realized, no, you should uh, ready for the every challenge, because Gallup presentation is showing me total. These are some. I'm reading of some lines from Google, Gallup research. Okay, total advertising in 2009 or 2010. Total advertising spent in Pakistan estimated at 30 billion rupees. They're talking about whole Pakistan spending money of 30 billion. It's a huge amount. But now our budget has been very crisp and very short, because everything is moved from hard copy to digital. And Facebook and Google both are giving the good chances and good viewership in very cheap price. And it's a reality. Because nowadays we are spending 2,000 per day. It means per 60,000 per month, almost 6 to 7 lakhs per member, only one brand. They, if before this technology, they had to spend millions and millions of rupees on their brand for advertising and marketing. But now everything has been changed. Everything is going to very cheaper side. Maybe it's a good or maybe it's a bad, because when I was quite young, I discussed with my any friend, my colleague, and my relative, buddy, I'm a designer. So no one getting my point. You are a web designer. No, no. I said I'm graphic designer. I'm 3D designer. What you do? Your printer. You printer as any poster or banner. No, no, no. I'm not a printer. I'm a designer. So no one understand what I'm saying. I was like an alien. I don't know what are they talking about advertising. Yeah, I'm sharing one joke. In 2006, I shared with my mother, I got a good job in an ad agency, Sachi, and I was in a PNG, and my brand is Pampers. So my mom said, okay, that's right, and she was explaining to her friend, my son is working on a diaper, not advertising. He's making a diaper. I said, no, I'm not making a diaper. I'm advertising. She said, both are same. No, no, no. Not at the time, my relative, my friends, no one know about the graphic designing advertising. But now, after especially COVID, I'm looking everyone. This feel like a taxi and rickshaw, because everyone knows about it and they are working. Everyone stall to Photoshop and Illustrator, and everyone wants to be a designer, and maybe they are working a very cheap price. Let's suppose I'm giving the quotation of 35 to 50,000. He said, what are you doing, man? Everyone is ready to for 15 to 20,000. Basically, I have seen a very difficult change. I don't know right now, senior designer what will do, but alhamdulillah, I have my own agency, so that's why I'm surviving. I'm basically I have the few clients, so I'm staying, and I said, so thanks to Allah. But other senior designers, like my friends, my colleague, they are in very difficult chances, because every minutes we are seeing the changes. Especially now, design field has been very what should I say? I think those are demanding right now as compared to animation and editing. So we are moving from, especially designer, 2D to 3D, and designing from designing to 3D modeling and 3D animation, because every globally it's a change globally, not a Pakistan. Everyone wants to change in their field, because everyone wants to be a good designer and good marketer. So everyone say, okay, now I can do this myself. So why should I spend money? So these are very difficulties. Not I'm talking about especially design field, but I'm talking about the whole advertising and marketing field. So no, everyone knows about the research. They go on the Google and they search. It's a good, you can search, but everyone start their career from the advertising marketing. So it means it's a very bad thing, I think. It's my opinion. This field has been almost lost their importance and their what should I say, their level, because uh, I think we should ready. My conclusion is, now I have seen the many difficulties in my advertising marketing field. But now we have to challenge, we have to see, we have to ready for the every difficult moment. Okay, thank you for customers.
Uh, thank you, TM Azhar Khan. Thank you very much for your speech. Now we have come to our last speaker, uh, TM Wajahat. I can't see TM Wajahat. TM
Yes,
Tala.
he's not here yet, Toastmaster Asghar. So perhaps we can move on to the next segment and hold off the voting till then. If Toastmaster Wajahat is not able to join, then we'll hold the voting. Otherwise, we can move on to the table topic session.
Okay, so in other words, this is the end of the first session. I hope you enjoyed all speakers, and now it's time to remind. So do we need to withhold the holding session, voting session, DTM Tala?
Yes, because if Toastmaster Wajahat joins, then we will give him a speaking opportunity, and then we'll have the votes casted for all the speakers.
Okay, then come to the table topic session. Table topic session, as we almost all know that this is the second session, but the most challenging segment of the meeting. And this session will be led by someone who always proves himself equal to the task and comparatively a new member of this club. But you know, the way he is moving, I'm sure he will cross all of us one day, including DTM Tala bin Ahmed. So it's time to welcome Naveed Aslam for the second segment. Naveed Aslam, over to you.
Thank you very much, TM Asgar. So, what you had just mentioned that I'll cross DTM Tala. So, one thing in an accounting term that I have to say that there's a huge loss. First, you have to make good that loss. Then you reach at break even, and then you start making profit. So it's and so that's
In
a
simple
long,
words,
long
you
way.
can say inshallah.
Yes. So, in line with the theme that we have today, future. So let's start our table topic session. I've kept it difficult. Reason is that I don't want anyone to be comfortable in answering this impromptu table topic. So, but it's simple. With the fact that I don't have any presentation, I have a few quotes. These quotes will have something about future, and whomever I will pick, you will have to basically share your views by expanding the quote, right? So let me just drill down the names as to whom I should first call. Let me see the names.
Also, Toastmaster Naveed, please remind all the participants the word of the day, doomsday.
Oh yes, sorry. So the word of the day is doomsday. So you are encouraged to use this word as much as possible. So if I may ask Najam Rizvi, TM Najam Rizvi.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So thank you very much, sir. So I'll have this first quote for you. The secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. The secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. Over to you, TM Najam.
Thank you, table topic master. Well, that's a very evident quote that the future is hidden in our daily routine, our future. That means basically we make our own future. We are responsible to a large extent what sort of future we have. Because without planning for your future and working towards that plan, it's unlikely that you would have a good future. So our daily activities determine how our next day would be. Like I can plan for tomorrow and I would know fairly with some accuracy what I'd be doing tomorrow. Similarly, the horizon can be expanded, say, unless of course there are certain uncertainties, the longer into the future horizon that you go, the less lower the probability that you can accurately plan what you want to do. But anyway, the fact is that we do and we can plan. Like if I want to enter a certain profession as a student, if I were a student and I wanted to enter a certain profession, I would have to study the basic requirements, the basic uh, basic stuff for that profession. I can't see the timer. Let me just, if you can please let me know if I'm going over time, okay? So that's my take on it. I mean, it's a very vivid and very accurate quote. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, TM Najam. Very rightly pointed out that we need to have a plan. It doesn't matter if we are on the plan or no, but we should know
टाइमिंग कर रहा है
that we have the plan.
आमिर क्या टाइमिंग कर रहा है कुछ लिख भी रहा है
So the next one is TM Imran Sheikh. TM Imran?
Yes.
Yep.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. So, okay, so this is an easier one, right? Never let your fears decide your future.
Thank you for the topic. As the topic says, never let your fears decide your future. It is rightly said that we should not be afraid of about our future. We should more focus. Our focus should be on the things that we can do, rather than and on the circle of influence, rather than on uncontrollable things and the things that we cannot control. So we should focus primarily on the things that we can actually control and remove our fears by practicing them a lot. Because the more we practice our daily routine and the things that we do normally in our lives, and we are more consistent and persistent in them, the less fear and less uncertainty we will feel in them. So, because as it is said, that we need to have three things in our lives. Number one is purpose, number two, mastery, number three, autonomy. If we have these three things, the purpose, autonomy, and mastery, then we will be able to overcome our fears and we'll be able to address our fears in a very positive way. And our fears will become our strengths rather than our weaknesses that manipulate our future. So we should focus more on our strengths and address our weaknesses and fears by practicing a lot and develop our skills and upskill ourselves to improve our well-being, both physically, mentally, emotionally, and professionally as well. And I must say that these three things, and that is purpose, autonomy, and mastery, these levels of mastery will bring purpose in your life and will help you remove your fears from your life. Over to you, Naveed Saab.
Thank you very much, TM Imran Sheikh. Couple of very important and very logical phrases that you have mentioned: area of concern and area of influence, and purpose, autonomy, and mastery. So very, very important concepts that we should remember when we not let fears come in our way in deciding our future. Thank you very much, Team Imran Sheikh. So the third one is Mariam Aftab Kidwai.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Mariam.
Hello.
So let me give you a difficult one. Education is our passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. I repeat, education is our passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today.
Thank you. So, right. Should I start now?
Sure. Please.
Right. Okay. Thank you for the hard topic. It is really hard right now. But yes, education is definitely a passport. It's not because it gives you a criteria or certain level to pass out, but it gives you manners. It gives you the reality or the strength to face the reality which you will face in future. No one has seen the doomsday, but yet we are preparing for it. Maybe if we wait for something that might happen next and let's do it tomorrow. Maybe we can leave it for tomorrow. No one has seen the doomsday. Maybe we are waiting for till the doomsday to get it done. But yes, if you're getting something knowledgeable, if you're getting something we can contribute to the society, definitely we can make a difference in the future. It's not only related to education. Yes, to the education you can say in terms of technology, in terms of studies, but also in terms of manners, what I believe. Well, yes, no one has seen the future, but we are working towards it. The technology is. No one knows about the COVID-19, but yet we discovered Zoom, we discovered Teams meetings. Wherever you have thought of getting the Toastmasters club like this, no one have done that. No, even I have not. But we are doing it. We are doing it online. We are facing every challenge and we are going through it. So yes, it's better to get used to different things and educate yourself about different things also. That definitely is the point that we should look forward. The topic is really hard. I am still thinking on it. Thank you for that. I will never forget that. Navisa, I shall remember your name. So from my side, thank you so much for this. And thank you.
Mariam. Thank you. But you came back very nice, and it was on spot. Not only that education you have covered, but the COVID that every one of us faced. How it was a very good example. Thank you very much. So let me do a little toss here. Bilal.
Actually, Bilal is using the tag KTC forever. So that is Bilal actually. Guest Bilal.
Let me call. Sorry. Let me call Hiba Rais Khan.
Yes, TM Naveed. I'm
Hi.
here at the call. Hello.
So Hiba, for you, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards.
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I remember back in my childhood, I used to be quite an aggressive, rebellious child. And over the years, I made a couple of mistakes, which in my future, I would try not repeating. And by looking at my past backwards, my past life, I would like to take some lessons of failures, of failures as well as good memories. And by looking at my future, I would try not repeating those failures. I would look at a bright future where I would like to, probably work in an organization, help the community. I also love animals a lot. So especially living in Karachi, we see a lot of cats and dogs. So in my future, I would also like, helping the community by taking these animals off the street. And in my future also, I would like to, probably be a good human being, serve the society, work in a good organization, and also be a traveler as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Eva. You're very lovely. I like the way you have actually you have explained how you spent how you wanted to live your life. It was full of energy, fluent, and and I like you wanted to move forward. Thank you very much. So let me first see whom I should invite. Let's invite our DTM Tala.
Okay.
Tala, let me see. Yeah, so a person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it.
Okay. Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. In fact, if we look at all our lives, very few of us are lucky enough to be doing what we really wanted to do. In fact, there used to be a comic strip, in fact, there still is today, called Dilbert, and its author, Scott Adams. He's turned into kind of a jerk, but he's written some really funny things. And one of them is work is something you'd rather not be doing. That's why you are paid to do it. Now, who's paying us to do this? No one, because we are enjoying it. So, yeah, roads not traveled. And sometimes those roads lead us to our destinies. Very few of us end up where we really wanted to be. And in the end, it turns out that it all was for the greater good, for the greater good of humanity, for the greater good of our own selves. Uh, some of us, like myself, for example, lament for their entire lives why they couldn't do what they wanted to do. So I wanted to be an engineer or something similar. And instead, I became an accountant. And the day I rolled into ICAP was like a doomsday to me because I never knew what chartered accountancy was. And some would say that I still haven't the faintest clue what chartered accountancy is, having spent more than 18 years in this profession. But still, I would not deny that it has given me a lot. It has given me a livelihood. It has given me respect. It has given me a position in the society. And in a very, very roundabout way, it has also given me Toastmasters because I joined Toastmasters when ICAP asked us to visit a Toastmasters meeting. So, yeah, in the end, it all turns out for the best. And as I said in my speech as well, what really matters is not what you have but what you do with it, how you deal with the situation that you have. And even if you're not liking the situation, what do you do to change that situation? So in the end, it all boils down to that. And with that, uh, let me finish with the thought that more often than not, the road not traveled is the more picturesque and the more spectacular route. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Uh, Thank you very much, DTM Tala. I can relate everything that you have spoken. Very few are doing what we wanted to do. Wonderful. Thank you very much, as always. How much time do we have?
We have time for one more speaker.
Right. So let me see. TM Noreen Fatma.
Yes, Toastmaster Naveed.
Yeah. So I have one for you as well. It's an easier one. Knowing too much of your future is never a good thing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Table Topic Master. So the topic which has been assigned to me is that knowing too much about the future is also also not a good thing. Yes, I think when we think more about our future and we know and we think more about future, we think about different options, and they might sometimes scare us. And when we think more about future, we actually forget to enjoy the essence of present that we are having, and that is more important. We the best, I think we need to understand that what we are doing in the present is actually determine our future. So instead of thinking more about future, we need to think about present. We need to think about that what we are having today, we need to really enjoy it, we need to get maximum of it, and we need to take that action that we can, which can actually enhance our future, which can give us bright future, so that so that we won't have our doomsday uh, and we don't have our doomsday, and we don't have our doomsday, and we will have a bright future. So I think we need not to worry about our future. We need to enjoy, we need to forget about past and live in the present, so that only we can enjoy and we can have a bright future. Over to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you, TM Noreen. Very nicely put it. When we think so much about our future, we've got the essence of present. So that concludes our table topics. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
I think we should ask the timer if everyone is qualified in the table topics.
Thank you, TM Asher. So can I ask our timer? Yes, please.
It's me.
So has everyone qualified?
Everyone has qualified. Yes, everybody has qualified.
Okay, thank you. So we can go to Toastmaster of the day now, because I think where there's one speaker left.
Can we go to the last speaker, or should we finish this segment? Do we have a speaker?
I don't think we have him, so I believe we can proceed with the voting for speaker as well.
Okay, so this is the voting.
Okay, in timer is every speaker is qualified for the prepared speech.
Are you asking me if all the paper speakers are qualified?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Everyone besides DTM Talha bin Hamid and TM Azhar have qualified.
Oh.
What was my time?
8 minutes and 8 seconds.
Okay.
And I'm qualified or disqualified?
Yes, you're disqualified too. I'm sorry.
How much take time?
Your total time was 8 minutes and 22 seconds.
Okay.
So basically, we have a 2 disqualification.
I request you all to please cast the vote for your best prepared speaker and the best table topic speaker.
Okay.
Voting link uh, is available in the chat.
Where can we find this? Okay, I hope it's done. Let's move on the next stage. Shamal, can you mute yourself now, please? Okay, so after table topic session, now we have arrived at our third and last segment, but the most important one. Because it is the learning portion of the meeting where we find out what we are doing well and what we need to improve. Presiding over the evaluation portion will be the journal evaluator, and today is our journal evaluator is, let me check the journal evaluator. Today our journal evaluator,
TM Asghar, it's me.
yeah, go ahead, TM Ebarais Khan. I just wanted to double check. Here you are. The stage is yours now.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, general evaluation makes up an important part of the Toastmaster session. Without good evaluation, we cannot hope to become a better speaker in the prepared speeches as well as in the table topics speech. Having a good and constructive feedback to your speech not only helps you improve as a speaker, but also it's like food. Good food nourishes your body. The general evaluation session will be divided into 3 parts. The first part will have the prepared speech evaluation. The second part will have the table topic evaluation. And then the third portion, I would be calling the role holders for the report. So for the prepared speech session, the first speaker, fellow Toastmasters and guests, was TM Faya Akhtar. I call upon her evaluator, TM Urusa Kaval, to give the report, evaluation report.
Actually, it's another meeting. So when she will be free, she will join. So you can call the next evaluator.
Okay, so the next speaker was TM Latif Mansoor Ali. And I call upon his evaluator, TM Ali Ashar Anjum, to give the evaluation report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ebarais Khan. My target speaker, Toastmaster Mansoor Ali. He said this, the best performance came when you speak from your heart. And today, TM Mansoor, Latif Mansoor speak from his heart. I must say, your speech has emotions, great body language, paralinguistic, and each and everything that a good speech should have. At the start, I was feeling that the, you are not very energetic, but the as the speech proceeds, your enthusiasm, zest is building with the speech. And at that moment, I realized that that was your technique, because so uh, so the initial part was quite repressing, and then you build it over it to, when you find your mentor. So I must say that is a great technique. Your body language, eye contact, you use a word of the day, and I must say this is a proper speech. It's the thing you can challenge yourself is in the in the in the in the creating more drama. I You can do that thing and your starting can be more better. So over to you, the general evaluator.
The next speaker was TM Urusa Kaval. I call upon her evaluator, TM Noreen Fatma, to give the evaluation report.
DTM Talha, if Toastmaster Rusa is not here, so should I share my report at the end, or should I wait for her?
You can share your report, because she will get the recording, so no worries.
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, today I am going to evaluate the speech delivered by our very own club president, Toastmaster Arusa Kaval. Indeed, it was a very great speech delivered by Toastmaster Arusa. Today, we came to know some important and distinguished traits of Toastmaster Arusa, that she is a very curious and active person, that we can already see her in our district. She is not serving as club president, our club president. Also, she is serving as area director. Last but not the least, she is also heading a women committee in our district. And she is doing all these leadership roles in an excellent manner. She started her speech with a catchy opening. She started her story. She started with a story and shared a scenario of her birth process with a great suspense, which was followed by different examples of her childhood, that how curious and active child she was. By sharing examples, she shared that she used to turn off lights even at the age of 3, and she was a very we can say she was a very active and I can say a curious child. She used to do some I can say naughty activities in her childhood. Like once she also damaged herself by tearing her upper lip, and these hurts actually didn't stop her curiosity. And moving on, her speech was actually very clearly audible. Her body language was clearly aligned with her content. She maintained good eye content, but we all know there is always a room for better improvement. And I observed a beautiful smile on her face during whole speech. But however, there were some points in her speech when she shared some emotions, and in those emotions we need to actually incline our facial expression so that we can actually capture our audience attentions. For instance, when she said that once I torn my upper lip, at that moment, she could actually lower her voice so that she could better engage her audience. Like, and once in another incident, when she said that my mom was very angry when she came to know that I broke her pot plant. So at that time, she could share, she could have her serious facial expressions so that we could feel the anger and seriousness of her mom's facial expressions. Overall, it was a great speech. And one more suggestion is that uh, it would be more great if the conclusion could be more exclusive with the inclusion of the summary of her whole speech. Overall, it was a great speech with great content, effective body language, great eye contact. Only by working with some suggestions that I mentioned, she could do wonders. Looking forward to hear some more aspects of her life. And I wish her great luck with an amazing journey of her new path. Over to you, Miss Journal Evaluator.
Moving on, I would go on to the next speaker, TM Ali Ashar Anjum, and I call upon his evaluator, DTM Talha bin Hamid, to give the evaluation report.
Thank you so much, Journal Evaluator. And let me just open the evaluation sheet. Okay. So, Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum, Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. You started communicating even before your speech with your very creative name. You always come up with names that spike up the curiosity level and that really, really want people to listen to your speech. So, congratulations on that. That's a very effective technique. And in fact, if you look at the World Championship of Public Speaking, you'll notice that people spend a lot of time and thought on naming their speeches. So the message to everyone and what we can learn from Toastmaster Adiyesha Ranjum is that the title of the speech is perhaps as important as the speech itself, because that's your first impression of the speech. So your speech was, as always, structured like a story, and that is also something that you seem to have picked up from other presenters. Uh, Turning everything into a story can never fail. It's a foolproof technique. No matter which project you do, if you successfully turn it into a story, it will be a great speech. And you're very, very fond of storytelling yourself. So it was clearly showing your delight in the delivery of the speech was clearly showing. And that is very infectious, and that makes us all the more connected to your speech. You had a very absorbing start, you had great humor, you had great gestures, and your speech was very, very well structured with proper opening, middle, and an end. In terms of improvement areas, perhaps the portion about mentoring part, especially about Toastmasters mentoring, could have been a little more emphasized. Uh, but again, that is entirely up to you because the project does not specify how much of it should be in the speech. Secondly, you had slightly too much movement during your speech, I felt. Uh, you perhaps were trying a little too hard to incorporate movement. No need to do that because your voice, vocal variety also compensate well. They bring quite a bit of variety. Your camera angle today seemed to me a little off. You were looking slightly down on the camera. That can be improved. And your sentences were going up and down in arcs. So you started, you raised your voice, and then you ended and you lowered your voice. So it got a little bit repetitive in the middle parts of the speech. So perhaps that your vocal delivery can now be better planned in terms of how you want to uh, deliver various portions of your speech. You don't have to sound super affected or super passionate in every sentence. There's no necessity to do that. It's all about balance. So, in conclusion, just a little bit more balance in your delivery, just a little bit less movement, and slightly better camera angle, and could make this speech even better. But that does not mean that this is not a great speech, because it was a great speech, and the purpose of the project was met with spectacular accuracy. Over to you, General Evaluator. And yes, I'm within time.
Moving on, I would like to, the next speaker is DTM Talha bin Ahmed, and I would like to call upon his evaluator, TM Mohammad Asghar, to give the evaluation report.
Thank you, Team Heba, Journal Evaluator. TM Latif called DTM Talha as magician. He was merely stating the obvious. We all know him, but was struggling to find the suitable words to describe him. That job was done by TM Latif today. TM Talha always steals the show, we all know, regardless of his role. Today was no exception. The best part of the speech, the strategies you described in a very simple manner, because it is stuck in the mind as well. Relax and breathe, distance from the situation, focus on the things, and then what I called deploy the reinforcement or the positive reinforcement. This is perhaps the best part of your speech. You took the introduction rather philosophical manners. You zoom in molecule, atom, proton, subatoms, soap of articles, and then you zoomed out sun, galaxy, local group of galaxy, super galaxy, Nokia, and I don't know whatever. And after that, you come back the real world. Then you describe your math class, your teacher's attitude before coming to the crux of the problem. That was very good description. I really like it. There are perhaps only two observations on your speech. The introduction, while impressively crafted, was too heavy to absorb, and perhaps a long one. Smaller one would have appreciated. This scene sitting, I think, was uh, could have been in one paragraph or one and a half paragraph. Secondly, I was expecting a better conclusion, tied up the whole story in one paragraph. I think it was the rather long, and I called it a complex introduction, which ultimately compromised your conclusion. And you paid the ultimate price, the disqualification. This is the lesson I think you can take with you today. The rest of the speech, as always, it was DTM Tala, so I have no words to describe it more than this. Over to you, Heba Khan.
Thank you, TM Asghar, for a very thorough and detailed evaluation. Moving on, I would like to call upon TM Azhar Khan's evaluator, TM Latif Mansoor Ali, to give his evaluation report. TM Latif Mansoor Ali, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Where is Latif?
Here only. Thank you, General Evaluator. Today, TM Azhar was completing his level 1, project 3, and I was unable to introduce the title to the audience. So I have figured out one title for your speech, that is, Change is Constant. And this is what you have delivered at the best. A person who has traveled so many years in one field, and the challenges what were at the beginning and at the end, it really helped me to see how well and how equipped you are today, being same at that first time when there were many few people in this industry. So while you had this speech going on, it really made me closer and closer to it, because somewhere the other, we all are today with Facebook, and advertisement. So the glimpse of a fearless speaker I have seen in you, that you are not fear of any audience, you are not fear of sharing your own experiences, plus you share it with more lighter tone. Like for example, the experiences when your mother was trying to introduce your job profession to the others. Amazing content. You choose to have an informal speech, but information, too much of information. I find gist of everything, what this industry was and what it is now, and how economical it has been nowadays to afford. These were the things which you really excelled. The things which you can work on was, of course, you are now giving your third speech, so now you can stand and deliver. Plus, the slides were not visible, so I'm not sure you wanted to share the slides or no. Now, this 15 years of journey, if I ask you to divide it into few things, for example, like an advertisement of 5 minutes, how well you would have constructed the transaction. The transitions would be more smooth and more effective. So try to bring some drama, and every transaction has a punch. Give that possible punch so that we get a message. Last but not the least, you have to work on this, how to pace your speech. For example, there were many things where you were smiling, but there were times when you have to be sad, you have to be little bit worried of what is future. In all, it was a well-constructed speech, and I can see the best speaker for the future of KTC. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Moving on, Mr. VP, can we have TM Majahat delivering his speech now?
Yes, Toastmaster Vajat has joined, so we'll ask him to deliver the project. And since the voting has already happened, so his speech won't be part of the voting. Okay, fine. So Toastmaster Vajat, I will not be able to deliver an instant evaluation, so I'll pass on your evaluation later to you. Okay. Your project is, the purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she uses non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. During the completion of this project, the member has spent time learning about and practicing his or her body language, including gestures and other non-verbal communication. The member will present a well-organized speech on any topic. Watch for the member's awareness of her intentional or unintentional movement and body language. Note distracting movements as well as movement that enhance the speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. So with that, the title of Toastmaster Vajat's speech is Thinking About Future. Okay. Don't give away too much information, okay? But okay, over to you, Toastmaster Vajat. And time is 5 to 7 minutes.
Hello, Toastmaster. For my whole life, I've been working for long as a middle class mentality person. Like that, I've been working for 10 years, just going to the office and then coming back to the home and then play with my family, playing with my kids and just sleep. And then again, we go to the office on the weekend. I just try my level best to enjoy the luxury of life and going here and there and roaming, going towards zoo and multiple places where I can get the entertainment of the life, because I was thinking that I was working very, very hard in my whole week. So that was a routine life I have been living in my whole life. And still, I was following the middle class mentality that whatever you are earning from the income, you always focus to purchase the luxury of your life, because whatever you are thinking, you are just living in the present. You never think about future. You never make the future plans. You always thinking that you are living in the present, and whatever the time you have right now is the only time you have. You have got no responsibility for the kids in future. You have got no responsibility about your family. At the end of the day, you are totally thinking about yourself. So that kind of mentality I have got and I followed for my whole life. Always remember that when you earn less, you never got the importance that how important is the money. You always think that there are many parts of the life. You have to enjoy your life, happiness, entertainment, peace of mind. All the things are important. Money is not important because you never taste the flavor of the money. At the end of the day, when you take the flavor of the money, so your mentality will totally change and you will definitely work on that because money is not very important. But at the end of the day, it has got a bit important. It has got big importance in your life. Whenever I speak with the people, I ask them that what is your avocation? I asked the person who is working in the bank, he said, I am a banker. I asked the call center agent, he said that I'm a call center representative. You ask me, I always tend to speak that I am a call center agent and I am a call center management personnel like that. Because avocation is a different part. Like avocation is that you are working in an organization, this is your avocation, is a profession. Profession is different thing. The main thing we should ask to the person that what is your business? Like after releasing from your job, what kind of business you are doing? Like what kind of planning you are making to make the money in upcoming days? So before some days ago, I was thinking a lot on this aspect that how can I make the way that if you are relying on one income, so you are just a line away from the poverty. Like if you are working on one income and this income just vanished at any time, that you will come under the line of poverty. So you have to work on the multiple incomes in order to sustain in life in a better way. So there is a best business reveal in front of me that I have to put myself into the state business and I just roaming here and there and just looking after many lands and all the things, whatever the small income, because I'm not that much successful in my life. But at the end of the day, I have got a bit planning with me that I have got something. I got the route that on this is the route. This is the deviation I got. This deviation is a bit slightly deviate from right now I can see, but after that it will deviate a lot and I can get the success. As I said, I'm not that much successful, but my planning is so intensive and I am really, really positive that in upcoming days, I will have something for the future. Because if you want to invest time and money for your future, so you have to plan for a decade. Because at the end of the day, in the last day of your life, like challenges always are good, but at the last days in your life, like when you are 50, when you are 60, so definitely you need some kind of relax. So in this society, in this scenario of Pakistan, if you want to be relaxed in the last ages, so definitely you have to work hard for the decade, plan for a decade, plan for 10 years, make a planning right now, and just try to purchase assets. One by one, you work on the assets, try to pay whatever the income you are earning from your job, just try to invest this income in your assets, and whatever the revenue you are coming after selling your assets, you purchased luxury. And luxury is the second part, assets and planning is the first part. So future planning is very, very important. Always work on the asset, never work on the lifestyle. Make extreme efforts in your life and hopefully the things will go better in future. And I am quite positive that whatever the planning I am doing, God will definitely help me out. Thank you very much.
So I would like to call upon TM Fire after the evaluator, TM Urusa Kabal, to give her part of the evaluation for the speaker. TM Urusa Kabal.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba. Toastmaster Faya, you were doing your path from dynamic leadership reflect on your path. You told us about the space in your life, then your need for human connection, how Corona affected you, and then how it actually helped you. You shared your struggles. You told us how pathways helped you, how you started it. You told us the whole story about your life. What really impressed me were the usage and the analogies that you built in your story. Motivational speakers need motivation, or learn how to say no. These things really stood out. And the analogy, the prevalent analogy that you used was water, oil, and salt, and how you compared yourself as with water, sometimes with oil, and then how you changed yourself with circumstance and with time to fit all these roles. That was really marvelously done. Now, coming to the objective of the speech. The objective of the speech was to reflect on the pathways that you had taken and how it had impacted, how that had helped you. We saw how pathways or how Toastmasters has helped you. However, let's just say it was a reversal of the objective. We saw how it has helped you groom, how your life has improved with it, but the pathways itself, how you went through it, was a little bit missing. I feel maybe we can hear more about it. Maybe you can talk a little bit more in your speech about it, a little bit, how did you find motivational strategies? What were your projects about? How was dynamic leadership? How did you start? So maybe things like that you can add in your speech, and your speech would get much more comprehensive. And what I also felt was a little bit of practice was missing. Maybe you were short of time, and you were a little breathless when you were speaking. And something with the props that you were using, were you were using them too close to the camera, so maybe just use them a little away from the camera. So that's about the improvements. I loved your speech. The way you speak is very, let's just say it's just confident. Something we all should aspire to. So best of luck with your next speech. Over to you, General Evaluator.
So fellow Toastmasters and guests, do vote for your best favorite evaluator for the session, and the vote counter will be floating the link in the chat box soon. So please do vote. Okay, sorry, moving on. I would like to move on to the second part of the session, general evaluation session, the table topic evaluator, TM Imran Rana. The floor is yours now for table topic evaluation.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, today Toastmaster Naveed Aslam did a wonderful job. Initially, he stated that today I'm going to give very difficult topics. Then I thought it would be a doomsday for all the speakers, that they are going to have a very tough table topics, but fortunately, all the speakers did well. So let's start with Toastmaster Najam Rizvi. His topic was the secret of the future is hidden in your daily routine. Today, I found Toastmaster Najam Rizvi a very cool, calm, and composed speaker. His confidence level was extremely good, as if he likes the topic very much. Uh, he was doing pretty well, but in the end, he ended up abruptly. I suggest him that he has found a very good topic for his speech. So deliver that topic into his speech so that he can make a very good ending. The next speaker was Toastmaster Imran Saleshi, and his topic was never let your fear decide your future. Toastmaster Imran Saleshi started with confidence. I like the way he counted 3 things on his finger or on his hands, like purpose, mastery, and autonomy. And he ended up with a quotation that you can make your fear your strength by keep practicing. Throughout his speech, he was quite confident. His body language was perfectly aligned with his body. So overall, it was a very good table topic speech. Then next we have guest Mariam Aftab. Education is a one passport, something like that. So guest Mariam Aftab started extremely well. She had a smile on her face, and she grabbed the attentions of all the audience at that moment. She spoke quite well. She spoke confidently on her topic. Her body language was perfectly aligned with the speech, and I really want her to become a member and deliver long speeches so that we can see how good she is in prepared speeches as well. After that, we have Toastmaster Hiba Rais Khan, and her topic was life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forward. It was such a wonderful topic that Toastmaster Hiba Rais started so well. Her confidence level was extremely good. Her body language was perfectly aligned with the speech. Overall, she did well, but she ended up abruptly, so need to work upon her ending as well. And then we have DTM Talha. DTM Talha, today I found his table topic speech much better than his prepared speech. Your confidence level was extremely good. Your vocal variety was excellent. Your humor was very good, and you used the word of the day perfectly. There were only three speakers, like guest Mariam Aftab and DTM Talha, and there's another one who used the word of the day quite well. So overall, it was, and I found a very good conclusion in DTM Talha's speech. So keep coming and keep us teaching the how to deliver an impromptu speeches. And lastly, we have Toastmaster Noreen Fatma. Nothing. Her topic was nothing too much. Knowing too much of your future is not a good thing. Toastmaster Noreen started quite well. She was quite confident. Her body gestures and hand movements were perfectly aligned with the speech. What I like about his speech was there were so many things. So I really liked it. And you ended up in a positive tone. Overall, it was an extremely good speech. So I would like to conclude that uh, the selection of the topics were extremely good. There were few topics which means Toastmaster Naveed Aslam selected some of the topics. They were very extremely good, and all the speakers spoke quite well, quite confidently. So overall, it was an amazing session. Over to you, Toastmaster Hiba Rais Khan.
So I will now be moving on to the third part of the general evaluation. The first, which is me calling upon the role holders. So the first role holder was the grammarian, DTM Talha. Ben Hamid, can I have your report?
Yeah, thank you so much. So I'll be presenting the report for Grammarian and Wordmaster in the interest of time. First of all, the Grammarian, it's become kind of a cliche and it may sound like a cop-out, but trust me, I will not take the excuse that I could not listen properly. I was listening properly, and yet I could detect very few grammatical errors. So again, we are getting, mashallah, very good in that regard. Some words and some corrections, someone used unwantedly, and it's a very interesting word, but perhaps in an unwanted manner, it's kind of iffy in terms of propriety. So maybe unwanted use would have been a better substitute. Some kind of the books, some kind of books, get a break, take a break. Again, revisit should have just been revisit because it's kind of redundant. No one listened what I was saying. No one listened to what I was saying. And people have been using very great, extremely good, and combinations like this. So it's encouraged, and I also fall victim to that because of a lack of reading and vocabulary. But it is recommended that some additional words should be added to our vocabulary that indicate something better than good. So excellent, splendid, outstanding, compelling, words like that. Instead of adding very, because very, it is frowned upon by linguists. People who know the language and who love the language discourage the use of very against every adjective. So that was the grammatical errors report, and the list of good usages is, as always, very long. I'll try to run through them very quickly. Smartest Toastmaster, let's drop those crutch words. This is the life. Add insult to injury. Hidden motivational speaker. Motivational speaker also needs motivation. None other than you. I failed many a times. The regular humdrum. Hence the complication, or so I'm told. We became a circus. The world shifted gears. Pearls of peculiarity, curious and active, merely stating the obvious. And I'll quickly move on to the Wordmaster report. Today was quite healthy in terms of usage of words of the day. Apparently, people love the word of the day, which was doomsday. I don't know why. But Toastmaster Faya used it, Toastmaster Latif used it, Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum used it, Toastmaster Asgar used it, Toastmaster Noreen and Toastmaster Imran all used the word of the day. And I also used it properly once, not while stating the word of the day. So with that, my report is over. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Okay, moving on, I would like to move on to the timer for the session. TM Shamil, could you present your report, please? TM Shamil.
For the prepared speakers, TM Paya Akhtar, 12 minutes, 12 seconds. TM Latifari, 7 minutes, 7 seconds. TM Arusa Kanwar, 4 minutes, 30 seconds. TM Aliyasha Anjum, 7 minutes, 20 seconds. DTM Talab bin Hamid, 8 minutes, 8 seconds. TM Azhar, 8 minutes and 22 seconds. TM Wajahat, 5 minutes, 33 seconds. For table topic section, TM Najam Rizvi, 1 minute to 46 seconds. TM Imran Sheikh, 2 minutes. Guest Mariam Aftab, 1 minute and 56 seconds. TM Hiba Rais, 1 minute and 38 seconds. DTM Talab bin Hamid, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Noreen to TM Noreen Fatma, 1 minute to 32 seconds. For the evaluations, TM Aliyasha Anjum, 2 minutes to 20 seconds. TM Noreen Fatma, 3 minutes to 12 seconds. DTM Talha bin Hamid, 3 minutes to 12 seconds. TM Mohammad Asgar, 2 minutes to 36 seconds. And TM Arusa Kanwar, 1 minute and 48 seconds. Over to you, TM Hibarais.
Okay, moving on. I would like to call upon the R counter TM Latif to present his report.
I'm available. Thank you, General Evaluator. Today, my role as an R counter was pretty easy, but few of them used many times. For example, TM Azhar used plenty of times, and there was some kind of matlab, these kind of words, which are like, filler words we know, but just practice a little bit of pause and it will go off. TM Najam, TM Hiba, those few times, and TM Noreen had some repeated sentence, and I think that was more of to gain the word master's attention. And that was used in evaluation many a times. TM Imran also used and many a times. Rest, other than there, were using pauses with timely and positive manner. I hope this time it is less, and in future it won't be any. Thank you and keep rocking.
Thank you, TM Latif, for such a interesting report. And now I would like to call upon, I guess, the listener, that is TM Imran Rana, to present his report.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, it's time to check your listening test. So everyone, turn on your mic. Those who said it are requested to remain silent. This field is like a taxi or rickshaw.
Other.
TM Latif Ali.
Okay, it was Toastmaster Azhar, right? I don't want another jerk to use my stuff.
Muhammad Asghar.
Okay. Just a minute. I need a break in my life.
Wajahat.
No.
Toastmaster Faya.
Yes. The smartest one.
TM Asghar, I guess.
Yes. Divorce at first fight.
TM Latif.
Perfect. Long days past.
Again, Latif.
Again, Latif.
Okay. Heartbeat is low.
TM Azhar.
TM Urusa.
Urusa Kawal.
Yes. And overthinking.
TM Urusa.
Perfect. Okay, mentors of my life.
TM Latif.
No.
Oh.
TM Ali Ashar.
Yes. How would I remember?
TM Tala. DTM Tala.
Perfect. Yes. We became a circus.
TM Noin Fatma.
TM Urusa.
Yes, Toastmaster Rusa. Okay. We all are successful.
Ali Ashar.
Perfect. Okay. Waiting for my maths teacher. Maths result.
TM Ali Ashar.
DTM Tala.
DTM Tala.
Okay. In my case, it was Maulvi Sahab.
TM Asghar.
Well, but don't drag this subject too far, okay?
Bloodthirsty hands.
Pardon? Again?
Bloodthirsty hands.
TM Rusa.
No.
No.
It's DTM Talha. Fill your lungs with oxygen.
Again, Tala.
Okay. Perfect. I have seen changes on yearly basis.
TM Wajahat, I guess.
No.
TM Azhar. TM Azhar.
Yes. You should ready for every change.
TM Latif.
Come again?
TM Latif.
No.
TM Wajahat.
No. Anyone?
DTM Tala.
No. It's Toastmaster Azhar. So this is the last one. I tried to break the records of Toastmaster Hibarahis Khan. So let's see, this one is the last one. Where there is a will, there is a way.
TM Latif.
No.
Toastmaster Azhar.
No.
The first speaker, Faya. Faya.
Yes. Okay, over to you.
The first.
Over to you, General Evaluator.
Okay, we are done with the role holders. And now for my part of the evaluation, the session almost started on time. We were just around, I think, 10 minutes late. The sergeant in arms opened well and gave a warm welcome. And the Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Asghar, was very good. Was very good and very, I would say, very good. He introduced the session well, introduced everyone well, and was right on spot. And the first session, which was the prepared speeches, moved on flowed very well, and I particularly liked TM Azhar's speech in which he mentioned about his advertising and marketing experience, and I particularly liked the fact where he mentioned about his mother. That made us all laugh. And the second part of the session, TM Naveed's table topic session, was also quite good. And I liked the fact that he always has a pleasant smile on his face. And the topics that he gave were quite interesting as well, and really made us think on the spot. And apart from that, overall, the session was quite good, with good speeches and table topic sessions. And this time, it was a good session as well, because there were hardly any technical glitches, which favored us all. And with that, I would like to hand back charge to the Toastmaster of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ebarahis, for your session. You did a wonderful job. Dear Toastmasters, when the curtain is about to fall, one must leave the stage. This is one such moment, and I'm leaving the stage. But before leaving the stage, give me just 5 to 10 seconds. A recent research says that the short-term shocks of pandemic will leave the long-term scars. Here is the bad news. Speakers who are delivering their speech online will not be banned from the Toastmaster Club, but will not be able to get the full advantage of intended benefit. The moral of the story, all those Toastmasters who are in Karachi should be in beach luxury next Wednesday. This is the end from my side, and I hope the voting has been done. Uh, I would like to hand over the charge to the President, Madam Toastmaster Urusa Kamal.
TM
Goodbye.
Azhar, sorry to interrupt, but you have to call the vote for the Big Four as well, I guess.
Oh, yes, sorry. Before going there, vote for the Big Four so that we can finish the voting system. And Madam President, the stage is now yours while we are voting for the Big Four.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asghar. Your intellect and your small snippets of information, they are really amazing and always a surprise to hear. So, Toastmaster Ali Asher, have we floated the vote form for the last voting?
Yes, I have floated the vote for the Big Four.
Please.
It is in the.
Please, everyone, vote so we can collect the votes timely. On Saturday 6th, we have a joint meeting. I'm sure most of you are aware, but those who aren't and who are not participating yet, please do join us on Saturday 6th. It's a joint meeting with the Toastmasters of Delhi. And we will be meeting at around 4 p.m. or 3:30. 3:30 p.m. And they are a lovely bunch. I'm sure everyone from Karachi Toastmasters Club will enjoy the meeting, definitely. So do join. Toastmaster Aliashar, are we any close to finding the results? Or should I announce the results for critics? All right. So while they are being tabulated, let's, what do you think, who do you think won Critics' Choice Best Speaker this week?
Of course, me.
Oh, yes. All right. All right. So, no guesses. Oh my God. Everyone either is so bored. Toastmaster Ali Asher, he wins the Critics' Choice for this week. The best speech. All right. And the Critics' Choice Best Facilitator. Now, this one was a little tough because we had really good facilitators this meeting. And for outrunning Toastmaster Hiba, the Critics' Choice Facilitator goes to Toastmaster Imran Rana. And Toastmaster Alisha, are we done with the votes?
Yes, we are done with the votes.
Please let us know who won.
Okay. So our first vote for the best speaker. So with a huge margin, actually, our best speaker is Toastmaster Lateef Mansoor Ali.
Wow. Congratulations, Toastmaster Lateef.
Okay.
I will award this
Now,
to timer.
now for the table topic, okay, there is a tough competition between three people. And so I have to break the tie. So while doing my responsibility, the best table topic speaker is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Talab bin Hamid.
Congratulations, Sitiyam Talab.
Thank you for disclosing that it's thanks to you. You could have kept me under the impression that people voted for me, but okay, fine. Anything will do.
It's your taste of medicine only, sir.
Again, for the best evaluators, there is again tie. So for this time, the best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Lateef Mansoor Ali.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Now, for the final Big Four, the best Big Four goes to none other than the Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Muhammad Azim. So over to you,
Congratulations,
President.
Toastmasters. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aliashar. And with that, it's a wrap. So let's meet next week, obviously, for the regular meeting. But before that, let's convene for the joint meeting with Toastmasters of Delhi on Saturday.
We still need one speaker and a few role players. So anyone, first come, first serve basis, whoever wants to enlist to speak at Toastmasters of Delhi, you're welcome. And plus, there are a few role players left as well. Am I right, Toastmaster Rusa? One speaker is left. We have just one speaker.
Yes, we have one speaker.
Yeah.
And
so we
two
need one more
evaluators.
speaker and maybe one more evaluator. I will be posting the list. Please keep an eye on the WhatsApp chat group. I'll be posting the list of remaining roles, and everyone, please enlist yourself. Thank you so much.
So with that, let's meet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye to all of you.